Oh my god! We finally have lore, folks! And I'm gonna be covering it all on today's video. Okay, so I'm gonna try to break this down as fast as possible because I'm gonna be honest, I tried to record this before with a brand new resolution and it didn't work. It made the video super slow and buggy, so... Well, I already know everything that's on this, so I can break it down even faster for you. So, Paladins the Game Twitter just published this a couple of... 10 minutes ago. Yeah, there you go, 10 minutes ago. They published this, and they said the following. As Leon ascends to Grand Magister, the Resistance is nowhere to be seen, and the shadows of Mastermind plans is on the rise. I was going to say the rise. And a young hero gets his chance to become something greater. By it's still being used by Zen, but yes. Let's get into the lore. They call it Paladins Chronicles, and they also explained at the end of this post that this is a little bit of an experiment with short stories meant to enrich the world of the Paladins lore and to let you know a little bit of what's going to happen on the next lore to come with the releases of next champions or events or whatever they're planning on doing. And, well, since we're at it and since I'm talking about lore, have you been following my YouTube channel? We're currently at 40k, close to 41k. You could be the person that might change that. And basically, on my YouTube channel, if you search for lore, you're going to be able to find a ton of videos of lore about lore theories, the entire lore plot of Paladins, the more updated one, the older one. The more updated one is a bit funnier. And you got lores for specific characters and everything, which is absolutely fantastic. For everybody who loves lore, you definitely should be following this. But here's the thing. You know, this new lore, it is similar to what happened a while ago with the imminent release of Atlas, right? This was right after Money came out. They did like these 3 different little pages with like chapters or whatever on the website. And unfortunately, they're lost. But I still did videos on them, so if you want to go back, you can also find those. And since I'm talking about lore, I will be posting a little playlist on the main page of my YouTube channel that will have everything regarding lore. Anything that has lore, it will be in that playlist. So if you have any curiosity whatsoever about lore, it will all be there. Now, let's get into this lore, shall we? So for those who don't remember exactly what happened, Yaggorath got released around the realm, Magistrate and Resistance got together to try to fight Yaggorath. That didn't work out too fine. Azan came over, sealed Yaggorath and said, if you don't fix your stuff, you know, I'm gonna burn everything to the ground. He goes up, Nyx pays him a visit, and locks him up. Now she's the one there waiting for her next move. Now, but what happens down here? We did remember about this little teaser trailer that they did, which I did break down, where Leon would now be the new Grand Master because Karn would step down because he thinks that he failed. And he kind of did. The only reason why the Resistance ever showed up in the first place was because of it. The only reason why Yaggorath ever got released was because of this entire thing, because I still believe that somebody from the Magistrate by accident went over there and killed the rest of the Guardians. Vora completely just wasted, has nothing left for her. Io didn't help her, she just released the Yaggorath. If nobody ever went there for the first place to attack, like Corvus for example, maybe that would have never happened, right? So let's ignore that now. Let's talk about the future Paladins. As the Magistrate reformed under the leadership of House Aiko, because now is Leon taking care of the Grand Magister. Actually, you know, she is the Grand Master, sorry. Many around the realm looked towards the Resistance and Valera for their next move. So it was not just the Resistance anymore. A lot of people were like, hey, Resistance, do something. You know, Leon's there, do something. And then all of a sudden, Valera disappeared. I'm not really going to read this entire thing, but you can read if you want to. I'll be leaving the link in the description, and also we'll be saving this page for in case the future they decide to delete it. But basically, Valera thinks that if Karn failed, she also kind of failed. They were really the two people who started this entire riot. They worked together, and then from one moment to the other they became enemies. Then they dragged a lot of people into their little war. And, well, you know, if Karn stepped out, why wouldn't she step out as well? I think this is a very awesome way to say goodbye finally to Karn and Valera, who have been such great two characters in the Paladins lore, but ultimately they will never see the light of day as a Paladins champion, right? They always said that. They would never make either Valera or Karn as champions of the game, so at least they are now off the lore. Maybe they'll come back in the future, maybe there'll be references or something like that, but for now, Valera just left and decided the Resistance to do whatever they wanted to do, because she believed that the Resistance would actually do something great, and they would actually lead and make everybody everything peaceful and everything, but just not her as the leader. There's also here a little bit of thing that I wanna break down. Zin says this. They mention Zin and say this. Zin, faced with reality where Leon sits on the throne that was rightfully his. Now, you could potentially be saying, oh yeah, no, that's just because Zin wanted the Grand Magister throne. But in reality, there's lore little mentions here and there that does kind of hint us into telling that Zin was actually the real heir to the Ruby Throne, and that something happened. Very much likely the House Aiko did sort of killed Kasumi and tried to frame Zin about it, and then Leon was the one who ended up on its place. And before you start saying, oh, but Kasumi's eons old, listen, it doesn't make any sense. I've spoken to devs, that makes no sense. What she mentions on that post of that Twitter post that they did about revenge might last eons, it just means that she will go till the end of times to get her revenge. That's it. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that she's eons old. It wouldn't make sense. Very much likely the Ruby Throne didn't even exist back then. Calm down, okay? But yeah, there again. So this very much likely is talking about the Ruby Throne. He saw what's going on, because Leon is going up into the Grand Magister, and he who created 1,000 Hands was meant to be the complete opposite of House Aiko, a place for people who were stripped out of their nobility. Again, another proof this is about the Ruby Throne, because if Zin was meant to be the heir to the Ruby Throne, and he was stripped away from it, as it says here, 1,000 Hands Guild as the opposite of House Aiko, a power coming from the common people nobility cast aside. So, this is more than evidence to say that Zin was meant to be the one on the Ruby Throne. Reports began to come in across the realm that soldiers were given way more power than they should, and they could do whatever the hell they wanted, as whatever you wanted to do in order to make something happen, take all the crystals, or put this person in jail, or stop this person from doing this, whatever they needed to do, whatever, if it was brutality, killing, whatever, they could do it. This was Leon's actually orders. She said you can do whatever you want. This would be her own undoing, because Zin now is going to take advantage of it, right? Zin is now going to tell everybody a simple little rule. All guild members are permitted to attack out Aiko troops whenever they harm others. All a fire needs is some sparks, and there you go. So now he's taking advantage of her rule of saying, do whatever you want in order to maintain our rules, our demands, and etc. throughout the realm. Now he's going to take advantage of it, making her look like the bad guy, and he's going to be trying to look like the good guy. Basically saying all guild members, all 1,000 Hands guild members, should now attack all the Aiko troops when they attack somebody, unrightfully. And there you go. We talking about that, and one immediately comes up where Vato actually is assigned to track down somebody who's a magistrate captain who's a little bit known for, oppressing and targeting squadrons. Rings a bell? Yeah. Reality is a bitch. This, it's a bit of a reference to the real world, where there's people who, unfortunately, when they have too much power in their hands, and if they don't like specific, species or people from different countries or etc., they will use their power in order to oppress these people. And then, obviously, here, Vatu, who identifies himself with the people who are being oppressed, because he's also a squadron, will then go, and he's going to finish this entire thing. Once he's actually tracking down that captain, he ends up being not ambushed, but interrupted by a young squadron who happens to be Talus. Talus, who's there to show what squadrons are made of, and he's fighting up for his people, right? And so Talus, tries to fight the captain. Vato sees what happens. The captain pulls out his gun to try to kill Talos, and Vato just, the captain, if you know what I'm saying. And because of this, then he reports over to Zen, explaining what happened, and Zen takes advantage of this, right? He grabs this entire situation, spreads it around, and lets people know, hey, the magistrate is actually oppressing squadrons. And a young little boy squadron actually stood up against the magistrate. So now he becomes the hero, the person that was mentioned on the Twitter post, that will make people from all across the realm actually riot against the magistrate. So Zen is actually using this to his own advantage, because now these all people will join together with 1,000 hands against the magistrate, and eventually Zen might win. In the same time event, in the same space of time here, Vaatu, seeing what Talos is fighting for, remembering he's also Squadron, he's like, okay, I'm going to train you. So Vaatu is now going to train Talos. For everybody who thinks that Talos was being trained by Barrick, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. They only were friends, and, because they were all part of the Resistance, but there was no specific thing that could actually prove that Barrick was training Talos. In fact, that would make no sense, since Barrick doesn't really have much knowledge about the squadrons, except using some of their technology. That's it. So yeah, because of this entire thing, now Zen is going to take advantage of it and try to destroy Leon. And he then also, Talos and Vato start working together to train and etc. And if we scroll down here, the entire, from the ashes of resistance rose another movement with renewed purpose. Freedom for all people to pursue their own future and achieve their own dreams, not just with crystals, but their lives. This future ensured the allies the resistance had remained around, and even though new faces into the fold. Turns out many roguish hands would like to see the magistrate fell, even if that means less coin. This is a little bit of a reference to people like, for example, Maeve and even Canessa. They would very much likely would join their groups. And maybe we'll even see, maybe this is the reason as to why we see Koga, Ying, Shaolin, and so on joining together with Zen. Maybe they will stop paying attention to whatever problems they had and instead work together to one singular goal, which is take Leon off the Grand Magister's role. I doubted that Leon is going to let that role go too easy, right? She's probably going to put up a fight. Like, Karn stepped away because he messed up. Leon ain't going to do that. In fact, not just that, but it then says here that Leon also has now brand new power, which is because Lilith actually joined together with her. Now they have a little bit of abyssal power, and that might be not a good sign, because that's exactly what happened with Corvus. Corvus started getting too much into his hands into abyssal power. It ended up screwing up too many times, and, well, that didn't end up too well for him. In fact, I still have the theory that Leon is the one who sent Seven after Corvus, beat his ass up, and then asked Lilith to try to save him, in order to then Karn think, oh, Leon is actually a good person, I'm gonna write a letter of recommendation for her to be the next Grand Master, and that's how she's there. This is my theory. Also a little bit to, call Lilith to, hey, you want to work with us now? I might have this big plan. I'm gonna, and you can just save, Corvus. He's all hot and everything. You can be his girlfriend or something, like whatever. There you go. And then finally, they mention here that even though this entire thing is going on, there's somebody else pulling the strings. Very much likely Nyx, who's up in the pyre waiting to start taking the realm for herself. So there you go. This is the entire lore that it mentions here. If I missed anything, you can tell me down in the comments below. It happens all the time. But this is essentially the next lore that has been revealed. 19 hours ago was it posted on the website, but 10 minutes ago was it posted on Twitter, and now I'm doing the video about it. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Again, do not forget, I post a lot of lore on my YouTube channel, and I stream on my Twitch channel, Kreepers YT, and I have my own Twitter. I have my own Twitter where I post notifications for streams, giveaways, and even videos. And currently, we're actually doing a sort of a giveaway. I'm doing a little bit of a best clip tournament. And this is right here. I'm going to put this on the description if you guys want to. Come up with the best clips you got. You might get some event pass codes, all right? and you get the chance to be in a video. Also, then I have my YouTube TikTok. As soon as we reach the 1,000 followers, I will be able to stream both here on TikTok and Twitch at the same time. And if you're just a person who's more into Instagram, then I also have my Instagram, which is down right there. Thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.